Welcome to Behind the Spotlight. I am Crystal Lampett, and this one is for all of you rock or rock alternative fans out there. You need to check out Red Sun Rising. They're in studio today. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
And we're going to kick it off with Emotionless, and this is from your debut album, Polyester Zeal.
Correct.
Okay, Emotionless.
With lips closed and eyes sealed, your sculpture with a pulse. I wanna capture your essence and keep it here forever, little one. And I feel good about you not telling anyone. You're just like motionless, emotionless. You're beautiful asleep. Motionless, emotionless. You're beautiful asleep. And you'll feel nothing as I send your soul away. And how long will you last? And how long will you stay? As guilty as I feel, I'm making you beautiful forever. Until you run away to nothing, we'll be perfect here together. I feel good about you not telling. I feel good about you. You're just like motionless, emotionless. You're beautiful asleep.
And that was Emotionless by Red Sun Rising, and I'm here with Mike and Ryan. Tell me a little bit about the inspiration behind Emotionless, because I heard that it was based on a dream.
It was, which is really strange. That's actually the second time we've written a song
Based on a dream.
Based on a dream, and we were basically just describing. I actually physically had the dream, and then explained it to Ryan, and we sat down with an acoustic guitar and made lyrics out of it. And so I'm guessing that we'll find out what the meaning is maybe later in life.
You still don't know the meaning. There's still no.
See, I thought I had a concept of it.
It changes.
But it
changes for me.
So.
It changes for me regularly, I think.
Does
Really?
it?
Yeah.
Well, we get really weird questions about that song.
Yeah.
Like because the lyrics are dark, but
They are. They're like, is she dead? Why is she emotionless?
Yeah.
Well,
That's the thing. I don't know what was going on with that woman.
The premise was, I thought that she was, he was trying to preserve her in the dream by killing
embalm her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, like she looks so beautiful. He wanted to keep her that way
He
forever.
wanted to keep her that way forever.
But you can't hold on to things like that because they will eventually deteriorate. And I thought it was like a love story, and he's like, nah. That's
like, no, you
I kind of apply
mummify
apply it to society's obsession with preserving beauty.
young.
And instead of people just like being content with getting older, and that's what's beautiful about life. So you're trying to preserve it too much and you'll actually destroy it.
Well, and I'm sure you've experienced a lot of that now, especially with your travels. So you're both from Ohio,
Yep.
correct? So you met in high school at a gas station, is this true?
We went to the same high school, but we didn't know each other. And one day we were in the same gas station we always go to, Duke and Duchess in Talmadge. And I walked in there, and he, for some reason, was like, "Hey, man, do you sing?" or something like that. I was like,
How
"No,
did you know
I
that?
play guitar." We had some mutual friends,
Well, you know, yeah, and
I looked awesome. I had like a bandana on.
You just looked the
ripped
part.
jeans, big
But no,
chain.
we were looking for a singer. I had a group of guys together, and we were doing these auditions. And I was so sick of having these craziest people I've ever met in my life show up at my house. And like some of them thought they were gonna stay. You know, they bring sleeping bags, and it was just a vocal audition. I'm telling you, people are strange when especially like. That was when you didn't get a lot of feedback. It wasn't Facebook yet, you know, so I had flyers out.
So people didn't know that they weren't good yet, and yet they still kept showing up thinking that they were for this audition.
So our filtering process was none. It was a phone call. So these people would show up. I'd have to give them my address, and then
That sounds dangerous.
There was a guy that tried to sleep there. Yeah.
Remember the stalker guy?
Yeah.
You've already had a stalker.
Yeah.
Well, that was from that
Well,
experience.
yeah. Well, long story short, he had me come down. We exchanged numbers, and they gave me the hardest songs they could think of. It was like Led Zeppelin and Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains, yeah.
And apparently I did okay. And then him and I left that band.
Oh, so this is for another band.
Yeah, so
altogether.
I was supposed to like
Right.
join their band, and I was like, I'm not really into this music, honestly. So Ryan's like, well, what are you into? And we started writing together, and we started Red Sun Rising.
So then you had that chemistry, and you
Yeah.
decided, hey, why don't we just do this on our own?
Exactly.
Nice. And then how did you find the rest of the groups? Hopefully a less freaky
Well, it was
audition
pretty freaky.
process.
But go ahead.
It was we had to get to know these guys. So we kind of got the opportunity to, obviously we made Polyester's Ill. We had we had the opportunity to kind of handpick the best guys we could get, and these are all guys we toured with, and we knew they were all from all over the country. They were from other bands. Some of them are frontmen of their own bands, and they step back to do backing vocals and like play bass or guitar, and it just adds to the experience because we kind of wanted to show, if you come see us live, we wanted everybody to give their all every time and not focus on just the center.
Yeah, and you get to pull from people who you know are all
Right,
talented.
and we know they can perform.
Yeah, and we've known these guys for years, and I think that makes touring so much better because we're all friends and we get along, we hang out, and we live the life together.
I can totally pick up on that. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. We will be right back with more Behind the Spotlight. Don't go anywhere.
The other side, the other side.
Welcome back to Behind the Spotlight here with Red Sun Rising. So it's interesting to me that dreams seem to play such a prominent role in your songwriting. I mean, is that where you get all your inspiration from? How do you guys work
No,
out
I just think
process?
that particular song did well. Did well for us. So we get to talk about that one a lot. But they're all over the place. They're usually something really personal. I don't know that we've ever just written to write. It's somebody usually has something they're either really excited about or really feeling nasty about. And I think that draws for the best inspiration. The dream thing was just. They were cool dreams. Like
it was just kind of
people
weird.
tell you a dream and you're like, shut up.
Yeah, you're like, I don't
This
care.
is the kind of thing that was more
Yeah.
like, wow, we should let's go a little
should
deeper.
explore
Let's go down the
that.
rabbit hole. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I like that. And tell me about the iHeartRadio Awards, because you've got a nomination for Best
New rock alternative artist, which is
congratulations.
Thank you
so
By
much.
the way,
Yeah,
how
we-
awesome does that feel?
we were stoked about it, especially seeing the other bands that are in there in our company, and it's an honor to be just nominated, whether we win or not. I mean, with our first record to be noticed like that is really cool. So we're stoked.
Has it felt like a long time coming? Because a lot of times when I talk to artists, sometimes you see people like Bruno Mars, and all you see is the fame, and it seems like overnight success. But
Yeah.
that's pretty much never the case. And you've been on tour for what, a couple years now?
Yeah. No.
Well, I mean, we've been independent for a long time. We've been a band for almost 10 years. So this is our first national and now international record. But yeah, we've put in the work way before that.
And how do you get there? I mean, I know that some of it is changing out band members, kind of finding your sound. How do you separate yourself from all the other bands, rock bands, trying to get to where you are now?
For me, it's just been like persistence and actually listening to people when they give me advice and being able to take constructive criticism, but then at the same time being able to differentiate.
The feedback. Yeah.
The feedback from, crap that won't get me anywhere.
From internet trolls.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well, you get let down.
you get better at doing it. You get let down many times. And I think you learn
Yeah,
from
a lot
that
of
too.
people said to us in the beginning, like, don't fall into the trap that bands fall into. Just because somebody has money doesn't mean that they can help you in the music industry. And sure, we did that once or twice.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what's the best advice that you've gotten from people that you've toured with or other artists that you've worked with?
I think it depends on where we're at, right?
Yeah.
Like, so right now, like if somebody asked me right now, like let's say a band just dropped their album and they're on the radio and they're just kind of where we're at, they're starting their album cycle. I would just tell them to, just to stick to their guns and don't change their show. Don't dumb it down for anybody because there's a lot of copy paste out there. And when you stand out from the crowd, when you stand out from the other bands, you're doing things differently. We've noticed that's what works.
And we definitely learned that, especially in when we first started touring. They didn't know what kind of tour to put us with, really. So it was like we were on either really heavy tours, it was like all metal bands and then us, or we were the heaviest band. So we kind of stuck out, and it was good and bad because you got a lot of backlash from like the metal community because like these guys aren't metal, they're not heavy.
Right.
But it's like we love metal too. We just, we like to have melody and sing and not scream and whatever.
Yeah, it just makes the influences up.
But you have a little bit of that negativity, but then there's the good thing about it is that we didn't fit in exactly anywhere.
I mean, it sounds like sometimes not being put in a box is actually the way to go, which I get that,
sure.
because like when you're getting nominated for an award, for example, what are you? Rock alternative?
Right.
It sounds like that's kind of what you have to do now.
Right.
And just go with the flow because if people feel that way, then they feel that way. So what are you looking forward to? Because I know that you Polyester's Deal has done really well for you. You made it to the Billboard Rock chart, which is amazing. And you are working on a new album.
Yeah,
correct?
we're always writing. We've been touring so much that we haven't really had too much time to sit down as a band and work out these ideas. But almost daily someone's bringing some kind of idea, whether it's a riff, a lyric idea, a melody, to the table. So right after this tour, which ends at the end of February, we're gonna go. We just rented a house, like in the middle of nowhere on a lake, and we're gonna take it. It's up in Illinois.
Oh, in Illinois, nice.
Northern Illinois, yeah. So we're just gonna basically live there for 3 weeks and hash all these ideas out, see what comes out of it.
Get those creative juices flowing. All right, well, it is time for our 4 favorite segment. So I hope you guys have been thinking hard about.
I have not.
Well, I'll start with Ryan. Favorite book?
William Cooper's Behold a Pale Horse.
Behold
It's a great
Pale
book.
Horse.
I don't like reading fiction that much.
I was gonna say, is this a fiction? Or
Well, I guess it depends on who you ask. It's just an interesting kind of conspiracy
what's
theory
true. Okay.
stuff, but it's fun and scary, and I've read it a couple times.
And engaging. Okay, and do you have a favorite book?
That's a great book. I didn't read the whole thing though, unfortunately. Pat's been reading a book by Stephen King. It's called
Stephen
Ike. It's called Ike. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
It's good. It's a good book.
It's
Stephen King.
no,
Stephen King.
Stephen King Ike.
That's a real thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie.
Is it my turn or his turn?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You can jump in at any time. These are really challenging questions.
I'm a trilogy. I get sucked into the trilogy thing. So
like Lord of the Rings.
And so that you just said it. You just hit it right there. So yeah, that's when my
Figured.
nerd side pops out, and
Yeah.
you'll catch me at the theater. I'm not dressed up usually, but I'll be there early.
Do you go to like the midnight showing?
I will.
You're like,
I'd be glad to. Maybe we don't have time to do that anymore.
He
but
always knows actors' names, actresses' names too. He's like,
I get sucked in that stuff
I don't,
for some reason.
I don't know. I
try
couldn't
not
name you
to.
anybody.
I never
try not to be,
remember anyone.
Yeah, trying to be like shallow guy like on the thing, but
Stalker.
but I'll see those magazines at the, at the counter, and I can't help it. Like, really, that happened?
Tabloids. So you're
then I gotta
you're like stars.
Yeah, but then I gotta put it back. I'm like, I'm not that guy. Please tell me I'm not that guy.
It's okay. It's okay. We don't judge here. This is a safe.
This is a safe
space.
Oh, good,
Okay.
good.
So it's not gonna be on like TV or anything. right?
No. Your secret's
Good.
safe with us. Only all of Kansas City will know. How about you? Favorite movie?
I really don't have one, honestly. I don't watch a lot. I have watched a lot of movies over the years, but if I was just gonna go put a movie on,
Yeah.
like I don't have the attention span to just sit there and watch a movie.
Okay.
I'm like the guy that goes to the fridge like 6 times, like it's gonna change what's in there.
So you don't have a movie that you've watched over and over?
Oh yeah,
since
for sure.
Childhood.
Like
or
every
anything?
Ace Ventura movie and every Jim Carrey movie possible, I think.
Okay.
Like growing up, I I think I wanted to be Jim Carrey, and my mom would get mad at me. Stop acting like Jim Carrey.
I think that's a phase that a lot of kids go
Oh, totally,
through.
especially
I don't
our
think it's
generation,
unique
for
to you.
sure.
Yeah, it was for sure. I know a lot of kids from high school that I can think of that were like that. Okay, and then your favorite musician, artist?
That's a tough one too.
I'm a real big. It depends. Like when we're drawing inspiration for like writing or lyrics, I think one of my favorite lyricists is Maynard Keenan.
Yeah.
I love John Lennon, David Gilmour. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm agreeing with all these. You know, Maynard for sure. Chris Cornell, especially as far as singing influence. Led Zeppelin.
Probably have some of the same influences, obviously, with,
A few.
with your
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
are like your besties.
The
your
bond.
Yeah.
twinsies.
Twinsies.
Okay, and then last question. As a band, what has been sort of your favorite memory, band story, crazy fan experience? We got to hear a good story from all these years of touring.
We just got back from Moscow.
Yeah.
And
Russia.
Mother Russia. And we didn't know that our songs did well there too on the radio. So
No kidding.
so we played. We got off the train in St. Petersburg, right? It's like 7:30 in the morning, and we just thought we were gonna just go get in a car and go towards the show, and we didn't. We ran into signs with our names on them and people screaming, and it was insane. And we had no idea. So we get to the show portion, and it was like 7,000 kids that couldn't say hello, how are you doing in English, but they could sing the songs verbatim with flags that said "We Are Thread," which is kind of one of our
Hashtags, things.
hashtag thing. And it was such an incredible experience to me. So we walk out to the balcony afterwards, and they're funneling 7,000 Russian kids through one door for some reason, which fire code's, I guess, broken, but
Yeah.
and so they see us and they start screaming "Spasiba," which means thank you.
Yeah.
And it's all of them, so we're throwing out pics and just trying to. It was just amazing
I mean,
to go to the other side of the world.
It
and
really,
have that
honestly,
experience.
like, I think we were all a little choked up because like we've never experienced that before. Like,
Yeah.
You haven't experienced that here in the States yet.
Well,
no, I mean
Yeah.
not that extreme.
Okay.
It was different because of it was.
It was way more intense because they can't speak to you and they're just literally thousands of people just chanting thank you.
far
It's like,
fewer bands.
no
go
one would do
over
that in
there.
the U.S. I don't think,
Sure.
unless you were like Michael
Well,
Jackson.
and I think at that stage you're running on pure emotion. They're just trying to communicate to you.
Right.
Like, we love
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah,
so
it's
You could
must
feel
be
it.
just
Incredible.
the
It was
energy.
incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Right back with more Behind the Spotlight after this.
Yo, this emotionless, emotionless.
Thanks for joining us on Behind the Spotlight here with Red Sun Rising. It's been a pleasure, guys. And we do have one more song, but before we get to that, I want to know, where can everyone find your music? Where can we find you online?
It's pretty much just Red Sun Rising everywhere.
Okay.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Red Sun Rising. You should find us.
Okay, Red Sun Rising. And our last song from you is My Muse. Okay,
Thank
take it
you.
away.
Is your pain in your pleasure? Keep your guilt in bed with your treasures. And I know you will, 'cause I know you will. Spare me the reason. Stay, you're turning the corner. Keep the faith in your false perception. I know you will, 'cause I know you will. Spare me the reason. Spare me the reason. And you'll keep going back. And I know you will, 'cause I know you will. And I will always take you back, 'cause I wish you will. Spare me the reasons. 'cause I know I will, 'cause I know I will.